Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 36 of Let's Break the Silence with Angeline, the podcast. So, what you are about to see is a breakout session from the Get Out of Your Own Way Damn Summit movement, which happened 2 weeks ago. So the breakout session is going to be amazing, and I cannot wait for you to hear this lady's incredible story of overcoming narcissistic and domestic abuse. So stay tuned.
I will kick things off. You said something about being addicted to suffering. And I was wondering if you could expand on that a little bit and what you see in people and how it manifested in you.
Addicted to suffering means, for me, I was addicted to like a lot of sorrow, grief, just feeling sad. Like I was addicted to being the victim for so long because I was beaten down to the ground so much that I lost my self-confidence. I mean, here, I made six-figure income, and then I decided to go out and work in corporate America. So that kind of helped me. I mean, it helped me because I made a name for myself. But basically, I think it stems from childhood, meaning that, I was born and raised in a Greek family, and my mom was addicted to suffering, God rest her soul. So maybe that part of it could have caused it, but I was able to overcome that and break generational curses, because in the Greek family, the male was dominant. But I was so addicted to suffering because it was just like I suffered so much and I just didn't know what to do. I just didn't know what to do at the time because I tried to make him change, but I realized that he was not going to change. He was not going to change. So, I just had to saddle up and finally surrender and say, you know what? I am not going to be in this victim mode. I am just going to take the bull by the horns. And there was just something within me that, said, that's it. No matter how much, because I was, like my divorce cost $10,500. So, my parents had to help me financially, and which I'm very grateful for, to get me through, my 1-year divorce, because the court system it just drags out, especially when the other side fights. So, for me, addicted to suffering means, I was just too attached to my emotions. I felt so much sadness at that time, a lot of sadness. But then I was able to overcome that. So that's what addicted to suffering means. You can only stay in that mode for so long. And all that's going to happen is, number one, you're going to attract negativity in your life. So by me investing in myself and, reading books and personal development, I was able to overcome it. And then the rest is history. So
That's amazing.
yeah.
I'm curious, with that being shared, like with 7 million people watching you in that vulnerable moment and telling your story, did you hear from a lot of women? Did a lot of women reach out in that time? And how did that feel?
That felt great. It felt great. And I started a Facebook group. In fact, the women who reached out to me, I started a Facebook group, and I kept it for a while, but then I ran into some financial problems and I had to go back to work again. But there are women who reached out to me, people who friend requested me, and they were all women. There was a lady, I recall, she was sharing the live to Facebook groups in the United Kingdom. I was like, when I saw her share, I'm like, oh my goodness. You want to talk about a ripple effect? And then she reached out to me. And then what happened was I had the vision to start my podcast 4 years ago, 2 months before COVID hit. And as soon as COVID hit, because some of these women shared their stories on my podcast, they were ready to share their story. I mean, that was like, for me, when I launched my podcast, it's now in 8 countries, and my goal is to have it grow to 30 countries. So that ripple effect and building that community. So what I did was I was able to build a community of sisterhood. And these women would share poetry on my Facebook page, in my Facebook group. They would share their story. I mean, there was a girl recently who actually made a video and shared her personal story. And, this girl is in her 20s. There are women in their 20s reaching out to me. I mean, this is an issue that no one wants to talk about. People want to shove it under the carpet. And, we need to support each other. We need to support and love on each other. And I'm just reading Tammy's comment. I'm just separated from my husband. See, finding freedom, but also knowing that God is working on him. He's a 5 on. Okay. I was gaslighted. Yeah, no doubt. I was gaslighted. if he is open to counseling, that's great. And if he is willing to change, Tammy, that's amazing. That's amazing. I see you there right now. I see. And he has to want change. He has to want it. We can't change them. We have, they have to want change. And more power to you. God bless the both of you. God bless the both of you, Tammy, because I can tell you from, and you know what? I pray that, he's open to counseling and he's finally putting in the work right required on his own. That is a huge blessing, Tammy. That is a huge blessing. Very proud of you. Very proud of both of you. And he battled that scenario, right? My ex was not willing to put in the work. So he was not willing to. And if you want to unmute yourself, do you want to speak? Okay.
Not yet.
Okay. Okay. That's fine. I understand. That's okay.
Thank you for sharing that, Tammy. Oh, mom
Thank
is
you.
just leaving now. Feel
Yes.
free to. Well, we have about 4 minutes left.
Anyone have any questions or want to, just let's have a conversation.
Talk about healing together, thriving forever.
Yeah, healing together. That is so when we heal together, healing together, thriving forever. I came up with that based on, my journey. My journey has been healing and thriving together. It means this thriving together in sisterhood because my goal and what I am working on is building, and I already have built a community of sisterhood that supports each other. We celebrate. Thriving means celebrating our victory, claiming victory from domestic violence, claiming, because when we do that, we not only get our life back, but we regain our power because it's important for all of us sisters to come together because we have a voice. And
Strengthens
let's share
people.
that with the world. Let's share that with the world. Don't be afraid to share your story. There's a reason why I started my podcast 4 years ago and is flourishing. The reason is because I wanted women to have that voice. I wanted real women to share their real life stories of claiming victory from domestic violence. And the women that who I've connected with, and I took a crash course in podcasting for 3 hours. So I was on YouTube watching Gary Vee talk about podcasts, starting a podcast. And there was a woman who I interviewed. She used to be married and she has her own podcast. And she gave me a crash course on podcasting. And, because I was struggling with like the niche to look for because I really wasn't certain. All I wanted to do was, Let's Break the Silence with Angeline is the name of my podcast. So Let's Break the Silence with Angeline was started by me 4 years ago based on a vision and a dream to help women amplify their voice and to share their real life stories of claiming victory from domestic violence. Because a lot of women who I've interviewed are now they're coaches, authors, speakers.
I'm really looking forward to. Oh, your hand is up.
All right, Tammy,
Well, I
fire
don't
away.
want to interrupt. I don't want to interrupt. I know this is all good in every way. And I feel like for myself, the fact that I've held out for this long, because this is just a recent separation. It's only been about 3-4 weeks now. But I have left many, many times before with the same mandate that something needs to change. But I feel like this has all been in preparation for what he's going to have us do together to help marriages come up and be what they're meant to be. So, to give the woman a voice, absolutely. But to give the man the understanding.
Exactly.
Saying that
Exactly.
correctly,
That makes
or the
sense.
right word, right? From the man's perspective of what they need to do. I just feel like there's going to be so much good that'll come out of this. It's just I have to be in that waiting space right now.
Right.
And
I get
that's
it. I understand.
so anyone else going through any of that, and if you have that God knowing sense that you have the right person, it's just a matter of getting God to do it. Because I used to say, I'm ducking so you can hit him and you can smack him. I'm ducking, you smack him. That came across my something. And then I said, okay, I'm just going to lay flat on the floor and pray. You go do what you need to do with them.
Oh boy, wow.
Getting myself out of the way. But thank you for your story today. It's amazing how the women in this group have just what timing for me, honestly, is amazing.
Yeah. I am so
tears just thinking about everything I've already heard and how in line this is for where I want to go.
Bless
so I
you.
thank you everyone for taking part in this 3 days.
Oh, yes. And this is the second day.
I know. I unable to attend tomorrow, so today has got a full day, and I'm here all day.
Good,
So
good. Yeah.
I'm just tuned in, and I look forward to being able to listen to the recordings next time, and even to take part in the breakout sessions. Hopefully, if they're being recorded, that I can listen to them later.
Yes, this breakout session is being recorded right now. In fact, I almost forgot, so that's why Jennifer. Yeah. So I said, okay. So yes, it'll be available. This recording will be available. So yeah, I'm so happy. Yeah, I'm so happy for you, Tammy. You know what it is? Your husband took ownership.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
So you have a story to share with the
There's
world.
still a lot of work to be done. There's a few things he has yet to take ownership of, but I know that'll come with the counseling and the timing and just waiting on the Lord to do what he needs to do.
Right,
He's been repenting a lot, which is not a word he uses. So to say he's even using those words is amazing. But again, I also have my skepticism in it that it's all just to get me back. But that's why the months of separation are in place, not just days or weeks. It's been said this is months. I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back anytime soon. So just know that. And this is where this has gotten us.
Right. Exactly. Well, I am praying for a good outcome. Reach out to me. All right.
I will.
Because we're connected on Facebook, right?
I will connect with you. Yes.
Okay. It's my name under Facebook is Angeline Constantinu.
Okay.
So please
I did write that down.
And I have a support group. I have a, private Facebook group, and I'm going to be launching a new workshop in October. Okay. So I would love to have you there. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
So definitely we'll connect. We'll connect because it's a process. I mean, your husband now, he has to do the work. Meaning if he's not willing to change and put in the work, then steps have to be taken. Because my ex went for therapy too. We actually went couples therapy and we did do some therapy, but he was not willing to change. It was always blaming me for everything, including
this has been the cycle, right? This has been
he was a cycle.
A little bit of counseling. We go about 4 or 5 times, and then all of a sudden we're back into the same scenario. And I'm like, nope,
no, you can't do that. It's a vicious cycle. Things will be fine for 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden.
Well, the new therapist that we have is also a recovering narcissist, so he can recognize, which is helpful. And he came from a narcissistic family as well, so he can identify. So it's nice that even that's in my favor, that I've got a counselor who recognizes it and knows the pitfalls and the tagline, so to speak, that this is just part of what they say to gain you back, and so on and so forth.
Oh yeah, they'll do whatever they can to get you back.
Exactly. So
but don't fall for it.
I've shared with my husband, I'm like, you've done this before, and I need to know at months 2 and 3, when I'm not ready to come back yet, are you going to quit all this?
Right. Exactly.
I've already put in motion, and I planted the seed that this is 2 and 3 months in. I'm not coming back any sooner than that, because I need to know you're sticking with this. And by then, hopefully habits will have been made and realizations will have come forth. So, and he's gotten into the word. Wasn't. We were both Catholics before, and I switched to born again, and that's a whole transition too that they're not comfortable with. So many things, but that's my story here. But there's no time for it, and share it a different space.
Right, exactly. Well, I'm glad that you shared. I'm glad that you shared part of your story here right now. So, and there's hope. So, I'm here to help and give support.
Thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. How long have we been recording? I don't even know. Yeah, because right now does anyone else, Colette, do you have anything that you want to share? Please unmute yourself.
Yes. Hi. So unfortunately I missed your talk, but timing is fine, right? So I'm on the Zoom, and just left 8 months ago, left a 34-year marriage, narcissist, but I take responsibility and all that too. I have no resentment, anger towards him. I allowed all that. I take full responsibility. Yeah. And thank God for mindset work, because I wouldn't be here talking to you right now.
Right.
And we are the change, right?
We are change makers and way makers.
Ladies. I hear that so much right now. So many women have left their husbands from this kind of relationship. It's such a shift that's happening. It's amazing.
It is. What a shift.
And to think like you say, the generational curses that are being broken off, and redirected.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So loving this. This is just amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. We're breaking the silence. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Totally.
We're breaking
So,
the chains. Yes,
Yeah.
Colette. So when you get a chance, go back and watch the replay.
I will.
Yeah, I could understand why Tracy began with me. I was just like, ah, you know, I couldn't wait to share my story. I mean, you know, like this is the power of social media, being able to connect with all of you amazing ladies. I mean, the social media is amazing.
We got anything out of COVID? Zoom was it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're not kidding. There was one event where I spoke
What
in
a
front of
boom
300
that created
people.
for
I
me
was
in
like,
a learning
oh my
curve.
gosh, yeah.
What a learning curve it was to be able to sit at home and learn all that I learned from my home and have all these great people at my fingertips. It was
Exactly.
amazing.
Exactly.
Would have never learned this otherwise.
No,
In a
no.
matter of those 2 years, I would have never
COVID
done
turned into a
anything.
blessing.
Yeah. Like, so take what you want out of COVID, but
Right.
I learned a lot during COVID.
I learned a lot about myself during COVID too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got
And it
connected
takes
with
courage.
connected with some amazing people to do all this self-development, you know.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, I
Definitely.
think we need to get back to the
Yeah,
main
let's get back
stage.
to the session. Thank you, ladies.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Angeline.
Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, Colette. And Tammy will both. Colette, are you on my Facebook page?
No, I wrote your name down though. Definitely gonna
All
look
right,
you
good.
up.
Let's connect. Let's
Thank
connect.
you.
All
Love
right.
it.
you.
Okay.
Love
Bye now.
you.
Yeah.
Bye.